Hello, very good morning. Let's talk about the shock in obstetrics. First of all, it's the most important practical, scenario. Every obstetrician must know about this because if you can manage this, I think 50% of the job of obstetrics is done. It's most important. Every individual should know because whenever we face it's so common and we need to tackle at our own level, whether it is a primary health center to the tertiary health center. So what is shock? Define shock and its different categories. Describe management of shock. Definition of shock: the inadequate perfusion of the blood leading to inadequate oxygen delivery to the tissue. The pump may be at heart level, whereas the pipes are the blood vessels and the fluid is the blood. The types of shock: hypovolemic shock, cardiogenic shock, neurogenic shock, anaphylactic shock, septic shock. In obstetric cases, shock is most commonly due to either hemorrhage or sepsis. Hypovolemic shock. Obstetric causes of hypovolemic shock: blood loss, may be due to secondary to the hemorrhage, bleeding in early pregnancy, antepartum hemorrhage, postpartum hemorrhage, fluid loss, hyperemesis gravidarum, diarrhea, ketoacidosis, supine hypertension syndrome, splanchnic shock, sudden drop in the intrauterine pressure, maybe in case of hydramnios. The most common form of hypovolemic shock in obstetrics is hemorrhagic shock due to massive obstetric hemorrhage. The obstetrical hemorrhage, blood loss associated with pregnancy or parturition that causes maternal or perinatal death, requires blood transfusion, decreases hematocrit by 10 points, triggers emergency therapeutic response. The category of the acute hemorrhage is class 1, 2, 3 and 4. As the class increases, obviously the severity increases. The blood loss in class 1 is 15% and the pulse rate is less than 100, pulse pressure is normal and blood pressure is normal or increased. Class 2 is 15 to 30%, pulse rate is more than 100%, pulse pressure is decreased, blood pressure is decreased. Class 3 is 30 to 40% in blood volume, more than 120, and pulse pressure is decreased, blood pressure is decreased. Whereas in class 4 it is more than 40% and pulse rate is more than 140, pulse pressure is reduced and blood pressure is reduced. Stages of shock: compensated and uncompensated, irreversible. Compensated shock: defense mechanisms are successful in maintaining the perfusion. Presentation: tachycardia and decreased skin perfusion, altered mental status. Uncompensated shock: defense mechanisms begin to fail and the presentation they present to you is an hypotension, marked increase in the heart rate, rapid and thready pulse, hesitation, restlessness and confusion. Irreversible shock: complete failure of compensatory mechanisms, marked loss of tissue perfusion, causes cell damage and even in presence of resuscitation. Shock signs and symptoms: hypotension, thready pulse, pallor, sweating, confusion, oliguria and cold clammy extremities. The initial treatment in shock is secure, maintain a high line and airway, apply high concentration of oxygen, assist ventilations as and needed, place the patient in Trendelenburg position and control obvious bleeding, prevent loss of body heat. The principle here is at least we always insert 2 large bore cannulas. Once you insert a cannula, you need to withdraw the blood and send for investigations. And we use a crystalloids initially. Once it is colloids or blood is available, we always start straight away with the packed red blood cells. Or initially, till you buy some time, colloids can be given. If you don't have either of the two, we can start off with 5% dextrose in a RL. We need to rush the fluid as and when you get the blood, you start off blood. 2 to 3 blood is mandatory, 2 to 3 units. Do not insist on a cross. If at all very much serious, then you do not insist. Otherwise, it is mandatory. Apply compression cuff to infusion pack. Monitor central venous pressure and arterial pressure. The complications of hypovolemic shock being acute renal failure, pituitary necrosis, that is Sheehan's syndrome, and DIC. Neurogenic shock is abnormal vessel tone due to the trauma and tissue damage as in painful conditions. Obstetric causes of neurogenic shock. There will be a disturbed ectopic pregnancy, concealed accidental hemorrhage, MRP, that is manual removal of placenta without anesthesia, and difficult forceps or breech extraction, rapid evacuation of the uterus in polyhydramnios. Neurogenic shock, patient is quiet and apathetic. Hemorrhagic shock, irritable, anxious, air hunger. And neurogenic shock, there is no hemorrhage, superficial veins are filled, hemoconcentrated, whereas in hemorrhagic shock, irritable, anxious, air hunger, external or internal hemorrhage, peripheral collapse and hemodilution. Septic shock results from body's response to bacteria in bloodstream. Vessels dilate and become leaky. Obstetric causes of septic shock. Septic abortion usually illegal, acute pyelonephritis, chorioamnionitis, retained placental tissue, puerperal sepsis, postoperative infections, and recognition of septic shock early, that is warm shock, similar to neurogenic shock, late, that is a cold shock, similar to cardiogenic shock. Cardiogenic shock, pump failure, or it can be a malfunction, the reduced contractility. Obstetric causes of cardiogenic shock may be a coronary spasm, cardiomyopathy, pulmonary embolism, amniotic fluid embolism, and Mendelssohn syndrome. Then cardiogenic shock symptoms are tachycardia, tachypnea, respiratory distress, mental status change, cool extremities, poor perfusion, and signs of dehydration. So these are all the symptoms of cardiogenic shock. So even though this is the most common condition, every undergraduate students is one or the other topics they will be discussed in the exams. This is the most important topic as well as theory is concerned, and for practical in the viva or maybe a case as in maybe it is an anemia or abruptia. So it will not be definitely it will be covered in either a viva or exam or in the theory. So you need to go through this thoroughly, this topic. Thank you.